Hey puppy trades, I wanted to do a video analysis update on the S&P 500 SPY as well as the tech stocks QQQ, Apple, and Tesla, and Microsoft. Now that we have reached the infamous 406, 407 target that we've been talking about since mid-February. Okay, but before we go any further, I want to say that I'm sorry that my last video was not in full screen mode. We'll make sure we have that box checked off before we start videos. And I will say a microphone is coming soon. We've done a lot to enhance the audio of these videos. But speaking of bad video quality, I need to tell a story before I get into the analysis. Way back on October 31st, when I just made this channel, I mean, look how awful this video is. You can't even see the numbers on the right. Right, you have this big bulky thing right here. I came out and I did a video called Technical Analysis of the S&P 500. Okay, I drew basically a bull flag from the March low. I said that was a wave one. We completed an ABC correction during the September sell-off. And this was right before the election. We had another wave one and another wave two. I said SPY was entering a wave three from the September low. We were about to explode higher. On the longer term cycles, we were going to 460. I still do believe SPY will reach 460 this summer. It's not going to go there in a straight line. We'll talk about that later in this video. I got some interesting comments. This guy said that my wave theory was bootleg. At some point, we were going to retrace the entire move, from the March low to the election, and that, bootleg wave theory isn't an infinitely repeating pattern, right? This guy agreed, and, that's kind of how it works, right? The best trades, you're going to look like a clown when you're making them. Shout out to the Ripple bulls, okay? Ripple XRP, we were getting clowned buying Ripple below 30 cents. Those mockeries are starting to fade away, and the growth stock and tech stock and the solar energy and electric vehicle investors, we're about to see their mockery fade away. Okay, let's get right into SPY. Okay, so what happened from 427, 429? I was completely right? We started exploding higher, and then I come out on December 26th. I said I'll be extremely cautious if SPY is above 392 because that is the bull flag equal legs target. Okay, so we were talking about 392 for a really long time. And then on February 10th, SPY reached 392. So SPY reached 392. And I said, if we get a dip to the low 380s, that will complete wave two from the 129 low. Then we rocket higher for waves 3, 4, and 5 to plus 407. Still long with cash. SPY sectors are bullish, right? So we were talking about 407, 406 way back in February. Mid-February, we were talking about 406, 407. We were looking for a wave two dip, and then we were going to rocket for a wave three higher, right? So we did get this wave two dip. It went a little lower than I thought. I thought we were going to be, in the low 380s. Ended up being the low 370s. But then after we got that dip, I came out and I said, hey, this is time to get in, right? Wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four. This is the wave one I expected. We got the wave two dip, and now we're within wave three of wave five. The next target is 406 to 410. We're going to reach that by the end of March to mid-April. Voila, right? Wave theory doesn't work. Yes, it does, right? Yes, it does. Wave theory works. And if you do wave theory right, you're gonna know that we're in a bull market for a very long time. All right, we're not going to be in a bull market in a straight line. But the charts of Chevron, the charts of American Airlines, the charts of Boeing, they clearly tell us that this is a long-term bull market, but it's not going to be a bull market in a straight line. Okay, so let's look at this wave count right now. Hard to stray from this wave count because it's got us so far, right? Way back on February 10th, I said we're looking for a wave two correction, rocket higher for a wave three, right? Then we get this wave two correction. And I said, I came out with the full count. This is wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four, wave one of wave five, wave two of wave five. Now let's see wave three of wave five to 406, 410 zone. Let's talk about where we got those levels, okay? Where did we get this infamous 406 number? Well, that was found by taking the inverted 123.6% retracement of this major correction, okay? So this is free alpha. The gurus don't want you to know this. If you're ever in, a stock that's doing really well, one of my favorite things to do to find a price target, find the next major correction. If you're an Elliott Wave theorist, you're going to find, the next major ABC correction on the 6 to 9 month, chart. right? On the 1 year chart, you find these major corrections, you take the negative 123.6% retracement of the ABC correction, that's going to give you the next place that the algos are really going to be, honing for, right? And for SPY in particular, we reached 406. We reached this negative 123.6% zone, okay? So I want to say right now, in my experience, holding an ETF, holding an index, holding a stock past the 123.6% retracement of the previous major correction, that's like, being at a party past 1 a.m., okay? Probably not a good idea. Might be time to call a lift, okay? But what's important to realize is, yes, SPY has reached the negative 123.6% retracement of the election sell-off, okay? QQQ has not. QQQ isn't even close, right? The QQQ negative 123.6% retracement of this sell-off will take it all the way to a 357, right? QQQ is not even close. And so let's talk about, this election low. If you, knew that the stock market had just ripped higher since the election, if you were an airline bull, an oil bull, a retail bull, you really know that the stock market has blown up higher. If you're a Facebook bull, if you're an Amazon bull, if you're an Apple bull, right, you've gotten your pops here and there, but you're not really as thrilled as, some of the bank and the tank investors, okay? And that's kind of going to be the theme of this video, is that, yes, SPY is at the 123.6% inverted retracement of this major correction, right? But QQQ is not. And oil and banks and airlines and Boeing and the retail stores, what we call the recovery plays, they have really driven this, election higher, right? They dominated quarter one. And the stay-at-home stocks, the tech stocks, they didn't really do much, right? So the theme of this video is I am expecting SPY, in this 406, 410 zone to run into some turbulence, right? Could it just extend higher to 420? Yes, we'll talk about, the full count in a second. I am expecting SPY to run into some turbulence. But what I'm also expecting is that the NASDAQ, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and some of these, growth stocks, some of these, solar stocks, some of these EV stocks are going to retake the lead and begin to resume their dominance. So let's just look at this full wave count for SPY right now. This is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4, okay? Then we have wave 1, and we have this wave 2 dip. After we got this wave 2 dip, and then I came out and I said we're within wave 3 of wave 5. The next target is 406 to 410. We'd have a shallow wave 4 correction, and then we would explode to, one more last thrust higher to 420. Okay? And this wave count is perfectly intact. Okay, so where did 410 come from for kind of the top of this zone? 410 was the 161.8% extension of this wave 1. So that gives you the wave 3 target. So right now, we're within the 406, 410 zone. Okay, I don't think SPY is the ETF to be in. I think it's time to focus on the tech names. I think it's time to focus on the growth stock names, and the renewable energy, the clean energy names. So SPY should run into some, headwinds in this 406, 410 zone. Would that be the top for SPY? Probably not. If we got a correction in this 406, 410 zone, what it should be, is that this is a wave 4 correction to the 38.2% retracement of wave 3. So in Elliott wave theory, we have wave 1, we have wave 2, wave 3 goes to 406 to 410, right? Once we get to 406, 410, we're expecting some turbulence. We're expecting SPY to really begin to underperform. The NASDAQ and QQQ dip to 395, 393 for this wave 4 correction. And then wave 5 is found by taking the length of wave 1 and placing it the wave 4 low, taking you exactly to this, very, solid number of 420. So I don't think the stock market has topped. What I do think is that the banks, the tanks, the oil stocks that have really driven this rally since the election, we will see money flow out of them into the tech sector, into the NASDAQ, into, QQQ, into the growth stocks and the renewable energy stocks. So let's look at QQQ right now. So this is QQQ. If we take the 123.6% retracement of the election sell-off for QQQ, the NASDAQ isn't even close, to the algo's favorite number of 357. So let's look at the NASDAQ futures right now and really try to map this out, okay? Let's really try to map this out. This is our wave A/wave 1. Okay, when I say wave A/wave 1, what I'm saying is that even if you're bearish the NASDAQ, you have to acknowledge that we've broken above this 316 high. So the NASDAQ right now is incomplete until it reaches 13,715. That's only about 100 points higher than it is now. So the NASDAQ will reach, 13,715. It should go a little higher all the way to the 161.8% extension of wave 1/wave A. Okay, if the NASDAQ breaks through a new all-time high, that means that this is a wave 3 from this low that we put in March. A wave 4 correction would take the NASDAQ around to 13,457, and then we take the length of wave 1, we place it at wave 4, and that would take the NASDAQ to 14,540, right? We're talking about the NASDAQ going, almost 1,000 points higher from where it is now. So if we look at QQQ and NQ_F, these ETFs, the tech sector, is not even close to the 123.6% retracement of the September sell-off. And SPY already has, okay? So, the big question right now, we've reached 406, we've reached 410. Has the stock market topped? I don't believe that the answer to that is yes, okay? Here's more evidence as to why that is. First, we have had this sector, XLY, consumer discretionary stocks like Home Depot, stocks like McDonald's, stocks like Tesla, stocks like Amazon. We have had this sector perfectly. I haven't touched this chart in 3 weeks. I have not touched a single thing on this chart, haven't touched the fibs, haven't touched anything in 3 weeks, okay? Today, XLY broke above 170. So it broke above this 316 high. So XLY right now is incomplete until it reaches 182, 183. That's only about 10 points higher. But XLY right now is textbook. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 goes to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. We have an A, B, C correction to put in a wave 4 low. From this wave 4 low, we have a wave 1 and we have a wave 2. So we've broken above this wave 1 high of 170.20. So XLY, consumer discretionary stocks, they are incomplete. Okay? They are incomplete until they hit 183. Okay? So right now, where's puppy trades wrong? Where does the bearish scenario really start to kick in? The first thing the bears are going to have to do, in my opinion, they're going to have to get XLY below 161. Okay? Get XLY below this wave 2 low. Okay? If the bears do that, before XLY reaches 183, we can start talking about the bearish scenario. Okay? What I'm expecting right now is that SPY will start to dramatically underperform the NASDAQ, Apple, Tesla, the growth stocks, the stay-at-home stocks, the renewable energy stocks. I expect that to be a dramatic underperformance, and that the banks and tanks, all that money is going to flow out of them into tech. Okay? So XLY, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 goes to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. We have an ABC correction putting in this wave 4 low. Then we have a textbook wave 1 higher. I don't touch this chart for 3 weeks. We go on the wave 2 dip, and then we go on the wave 3 higher. Haven't touched any of this. Wave 1, wave 2. Today we broke above this wave 1 high. So XLY is incomplete until 182, 183. This is a very important index. This is a very important ETF to me. Bears, get XLY below 161. We'll talk about your situation. Until then, I think bulls are riding high until we reach 183, 182 for XLY. Let's talk about some tech stocks right now. This is Tesla. Okay, this is Tesla. Finally, we're starting to see Tesla and Apple on a regular basis begin to outperform. So this is sort of what we're looking for Tesla right now. This is likely an A, B, C correction from this high. Okay, the bears are going to say that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you why right now. In the short term, that doesn't really, matter. Okay, what we first need to do, I'll clear up this 123.6%. So Tesla is completing, in my opinion, an ABC correction from this high. From this low, right, the bears are going to disagree with me. The bears are going to say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? That's bad wave theory, in my opinion. And then this is either a wave 1 or a wave A. This is a wave 2 or a wave B. So Tesla puts in this wave 2, wave B low. Okay, so bears, get Tesla below 591 before it does what I'm about to say I think it's going to do. The minimum expectation, right? This is why I don't think, bulls should be freaking out. The XLY and the Microsoft charts, I feel extremely good about. I can't wait to talk about those. Tesla, at the very minimum, is incomplete until it reaches 764. Okay, that doesn't sound like a lot, but the stock market is not topping tomorrow. Okay, we're going to see this rotation out of SPY, out of the banks and the tanks, out of the airlines, out of the oil stocks, into the tech stocks, into the solar energy stocks, into the electric vehicles, into the software stocks, into the stay-at-home sector. Okay, we have an A, B, C correction, and then the bears are going to say, no, that's not an A, B, C, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, even if that's the count, Tesla's gone on a wave 1, then had a wave 2 correction, and then wave 3 at minimum is going to 760. So that's the bearish scenario, is that Tesla will stop in its tracks at 760. I don't think that's going to happen. What I think Tesla's going to do, I think that this is an impulse from this low that is building. So I believe that Tesla is going to do wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Wave 3 is going to take Tesla to 161.8% extension of wave 1. Okay, so if Tesla just stops in its tracks at 760, then the bears, they might be onto something, that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Tesla's going to take another leg down. Okay, I don't think that's the case. I think the Tesla is going to go wave 1, wave 2, and it's going to go to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. We'll talk about Microsoft as some evidence for why I don't think it's right to be, on the more bearish side for Tesla and Apple. Okay, Facebook and Microsoft broke to new all-time highs today. So Facebook and Microsoft are incomplete. If they're incomplete and they're going a lot higher, it doesn't make sense to say, well, yeah, that's going to be happening, but Tesla's going to be, tanking. Okay, Tesla's going to go on a wave 1, a wave 2. If Tesla gets to 828, the bulls are right. If Tesla gets to 828, the bulls are correct, because that means this is a wave 3 from this low that we put in March, because it will have passed the 161.8% extension of wave 1. So that's wave 3. Wave 4 would then take Tesla out of a shallow correction to the 38.2% retracement of wave 3. Okay, so the 38.2% retracement of wave 3 would take Tesla to 737, and then wave 5 at minimum is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, which takes Tesla, voila, to a new all-time high. Okay, if Tesla gets to a new all-time high, it confirms this was all consolidation. Okay, this is the left side of the base, this is the right side of the base, and then Tesla, this is the most bullish thing that's possible if Tesla breaks through a new all-time high. It confirms that all of this was consolidation. Okay, that's extremely bullish, and I think that's going to happen. This is an A, B, C correction. This is a wave 1. This is a wave 2. Wave 3 will take Tesla to 828. Wave 4 would take Tesla to have a shallow correction to 737. And then wave 5, at minimum, would be the length of wave 1, places the wave 4 low, taking Tesla to a new all-time high, confirming this was all consolidation, confirming that this is just a huge base that's been being built for the past month or two. Okay, let's look at Apple. Okay, Apple finally starting to outperform not just SPY, but the NASDAQ itself. Okay, I think that's a trend that will continue. I think this is going to be very similar to Tesla. It's almost the exact same thing. Okay, so Tesla and Apple are the same story. You know, they're nearly identical, right? The bulls are going to say this is an ABC correction. Okay, I'm on that team. Okay, I believe this is an ABC correction. Okay, and what the bears are going to say is that's not an ABC correction. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in my opinion, that's bad wave theory, but we have to acknowledge that that's what they believe. Okay, but here's the thing: even if it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're expecting an A, B, C correction for a counter trend rally. Okay, so this would be wave A from the March low. This would be wave B. Wave C at the very minimum would take Apple to 130. Okay, so if Apple gets to 130 and Tesla gets to 760 and they both stop in their tracks, it's time to consider the bearish scenario. Okay, Tesla is a big component of XLY. XLY just confirmed it is incomplete from this March low. XLY is going the length of wave 1, places the wave 2 low. XLY is going to 183. Okay, we'll talk about Microsoft being incomplete as well. If XLY's got 10 points higher, you know, I really think that Apple and Tesla are not going to get stopped in their tracks at this wave C equal X target. I think what's going to happen is that Apple and Tesla are not in a counter trend rally. Okay, Apple is not in an ABC counter trend rally from this low. It's in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse, just like Tesla, that is building from this low. Okay, so at the very minimum, we are expecting that Apple will reach 130. Okay, obviously no one's getting excited about that. If Apple goes past 130 and it reaches 134, then that confirms that the bulls are right. This is not an ABC correction. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulse from this March low. So Apple, if it stops at 130 and Tesla stops at 760, we'll consider the more bearish possibility. Okay, if Tesla goes past 828, the 161.8% extension of wave 1, and Apple goes past 134, the 161.8% extension of wave 1, then the bulls are correct. This is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Apple would go to 134. The wave 4 correction would take Apple to 128, and then it would go on a wave 5 impulse higher. Apple would be going to 139. That would not take Apple to a new all-time high. But by the time that happened, Tesla will have gotten to a new all-time high. Okay, so besides XLY going to 183, right? Do we have more concrete evidence, you know, that we should be on the more bullish side, despite the fact that SPY has reached 406 and 410? Well, obviously we have XLV, right? XLV, this count's going in a book. Okay, this is the wave 1. We have an ABC correction putting in a wave 2 low. Wave 3 stops exactly at the 161.8% extension of wave 1. We have an ABC correction for a wave 4 that perfectly retests the high of wave 1. What you then do, you take the length of wave 1, you place it at the wave 4 low. That takes XLV to 124. XLV's got 10 points higher. XLY's got 10 points higher. The market's not crashing. Okay, but I am expecting rotation out of the banks, rotation out of the tanks. Okay, wave 1, ABC, wave 2, Wave 3 for healthcare goes to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. ABC correction wave 4 perfectly retest the high of wave 1. Then we have a wave 1, wave 2, now XLV breaking out. XLV on its way to 124. Okay, so bears, I'll give you another one. Okay, we'll consider your scenario if in the very short term you get XLV below 113. Get XLV below 113, we'll talk about the bearish scenario. Get XLY below 161, we'll talk about the bearish scenario. Until then, I'm expecting that these wave counts that we've had marked out perfectly will continue to play out. Okay, what's another one, that we're really pretty confident about? Okay, in my opinion, calling the top in the stock market on the larger degree before emerging markets, EEM, reaches the length of this move placed at this low, or the length of this move in orange placed at this low, you're going to look silly calling tops. Okay, so EEM, emerging markets, wave A, this is the more conservative bearish projection, is that this is a wave A, a wave B. The length of wave A placed at the wave B low takes EEM, or emerging markets, to 62, conservatively. Okay, that's the bearish scenario, that EEM goes to 62. The bullish scenario is that this is the wave 1, an ABC correction wave 2, a wave 1, an ABC correction wave 2, and now the conservative target will be the length of this 5 waves impulse. This is clearly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse placed at this low, takes EEM to 59. Okay, so everyone wants to know what's this magic SPY number, that I get to finally buy puts. Okay, you can buy puts whenever you want. This isn't investment advice. Okay, I've had the market's number since the election. Okay, not perfectly, but I didn't go running off into the hills when the market sold off. Okay, because I projected it. And when everyone was freaking out, I came out and said, forget the freaking 10-year yield. We're going to 406, 410. That was all BS. That was all just a bear trap to get you to sell. Okay, XLY, we have had this count perfectly. Wave 1, wave 2, it's incomplete until 183. XLV, we've had this count perfectly. Wave 1, ABC correction, wave 2, wave 3, ABC correction, wave 4, wave 1, wave 2, wave 5 is going to 124. EEM, the length of wave A, placed at the wave B low, takes EEM to 62. The length of wave 1, placed at the ABC correction, wave 2 low, takes EEM to 59. Okay? So I got all these numbers memorized, okay? And I would recommend you memorize them too. EM to 60, XLY to 183, XLV to 124. Bulls are riding high until then, okay? If there's any turbulence in SPY, I think it's going to be a wave 4 correction to around 393, 395. I could definitely see SPY extending a little higher to 410. If there's any turbulence, it's going to be a wave 4 correction. It's going to be, then we're going to have a wave 5 higher, so 420, that would likely coincide with EEM reaching 60, XLY reaching 183, XLV reaching 124. Okay, let's get into some setups. Okay, I don't like to post videos without having a setup. First, let's make sure we've got, I forgot Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft. What's a good reason to be bullish tech stocks right now? What's a good reason to give tech bulls the benefit of the doubt? Because I've had this Microsoft count perfectly. Okay, I've had this Microsoft count perfectly since mid-March. I've come out and I've said, if this low holds of 124, if this low of 224 holds for Microsoft, this is the completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse, and this is completing an ABC correction. Okay, I've had this countdown. I've posted about Microsoft many times, on Twitter and in these videos. Today, Microsoft broke above this high. Okay, so Microsoft broke above the high of 246. It is incomplete until 258. Microsoft, at minimum, has 10 points higher. Okay, and if you're an astute wave theorist, you're going to see that's very conservative. What about wave 5? Okay, we can definitely talk about wave 5. Okay, Microsoft and Facebook breaking the new all-time highs today is giving us a lot of confirmation that the market is going higher. Okay, not to mention, not just Microsoft, Boeing is also giving us confirmation due to its incompletion that it is going higher as well. Okay, so Boeing, if you remember, has a wave 1, a wave 2. It has another wave 1, another wave 2. You take the beginning of wave 1, you connect it with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2. You take the length of wave 1, you place it at the wave 2 low. You have a beautiful pitchfork with reactions on the median. We had great reactions on the lower bound. Now we're heading back to the median. Okay, so if I zoom out a little bit, for Boeing, we have this low connected with this high and this low. That gives a beautiful pitchfork. We have these reactions on the lower bound. We're heading back to the median. From an Elliott wave standpoint, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 1, this is wave 2. Boeing has broken and closing above both of these highs, so Boeing is considered incomplete until it reaches 296. So we have a lot of evidence the stock market top is not in. Okay, XLY 183, EEM to 60, XLV to 124, and I think Boeing to 296, 307. That's a lot of evidence that the bulls are still in control of this market. Microsoft, for the tech bulls, is incomplete until it reaches 258, and that's an extremely conservative target. Okay, so is there some money to be made between now and EEM reaching 60, between now and XLY reaching 183? I think there is. I think it's going to be in this crypto mining sector. If we look at EBON, this is probably my favorite setup right now. I really like this. EBON, setup of the video, wave 1, ABC correction, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. You could count this a couple ways. Let's say you count this wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then we're in wave 1 of wave 5, wave 2 of wave 5, and then wave 3 at the very minimum will take EBON to 14. Okay, I think EBON, in the next 2 or 3 months will definitely be at 14. Okay, EBON is heading to the median of this pitchfork. Okay, so right now I want to see EBON hold above 4.83. EBON is going to the median of this pitchfork. At the very minimum, it's going the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. That's going to take EBON conservatively to 14. Okay, so I know I'm going to get a few questions on this wave count. Why is wave 4 overlapping the high of wave 1? I do believe this is a leading diagonal. Okay, in leading diagonals and ending diagonals, wave 4 will overlap the high of wave 1. That is pretty advanced wave theory jargon. But also, here's another reason I wouldn't be too worried about wave 4 overlapping the high of wave 1. If we recounted this a little bit, we could count EBON as a nest, and we could say EBON is not within a wave 3, it's within a nest. So this is wave 1. We have an ABC wave 2 correction, and then we have a wave 1, a wave 2, and then we have another wave 1 and another wave 2. So then in this count, EBON wouldn't be within a wave 5. It would be within a wave 3. So this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. EBON's completing this ABC correction, and then the wave 3 target at the very minimum would take EBON still above this wave 1 high. So I believe EBON's going to 14. Love the risk-reward ratio here. So as long as 4.83 holds as the low, EBON is going to 14. If we go to the price overview, we can see that the options market, options are still pretty cheap on EBON, which is pretty surprising. It is in the 5%, the bottom 5% of its 1-year range. Okay, so options on EBON aren't too expensive. I love EBON to 14, so long as 4.83 holds as the low. NXTD, we talked about this one a lot. I want to see 1.05 hold as the low, and then NXTD has completed a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, an ABC correction wave 4. A wave 5 completes a larger degree wave 1. We have an ABC correction putting a larger degree wave 2. If this low of 1.05 holds as the low, then NXTD is going to 4.18. Okay, quick overview. Tesla should be going to 828. If it gets there, that's extremely bullish. It confirms a wave 3 from this low. Apple should be going to 134. If it gets there, that's extremely bullish. It confirms that this is a wave 3 from this low. What's evidence that will happen? The evidence that that will happen is that Microsoft has broken to a new all-time high and confirmed all of this was consolidation. Microsoft is incomplete until it reaches 258. XLY is also incomplete. It is broken above the high of 170. XLY is incomplete until it reaches 183. Okay? Boeing, just more evidence the stock market bulls are still in control. Boeing went on a wave 1 and a wave 2. If you take the low, connected with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, gorgeous pitchfork with reactions on the median, reactions off the lower bound. Boeing is incomplete until it reaches 296. It is on its way to the median of this pitchfork, okay? I'm really excited that SPY reached 406, 410. I think it's finally time to see some rotation out of the banks, out of the tanks, out of the oil stocks, and we're going to start to see tech resume the lead.